What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Monday, Victory Monday, January 9th, 2023. I said 22 yesterday, I think. 2023, and man, this doesn't just feel like a random Victory Monday, like in the regular season. This one feels different. This one feels different, man. When was the last time that you had playoff fever? I know mine was 2016 when the Dolphins were in the playoffs. Matt Moore was the leading quarterback. Jay Ajayi, a lot of great defenders as well. That was the last, I guess, feel of the playoffs I had for the Miami Dolphins. And now sitting here today as a 20-year-old kid, about to be 21 in 7 months, and about to graduate college, I can proudly say I'm going to be watching my second Miami Dolphins playoff game Sunday at 1 o'clock. That is the time of the game, Sunday, 1 o'clock, against the Buffalo Bills. I will be sitting on my couch in this house with the whole house decorated in Miami Dolphins colors, watching the game. Looked at tickets today. Ticket prices aren't terrible at all, but flights are outrageous. And therefore, with outrageous $250 flights, I'm not going to Buffalo for $250. Especially with the situation. Am I happy the Dolphins are in the playoffs? You're damn right I am. And what this video mostly is, it's an apology video for me from the past couple weeks. I'm like, you know what? I got to make an apology video. I got to be the man of the word. And I got to apologize. So this is mostly an apology video. Do I think they're going to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills? If Tua Tagovailoa, and I said this yesterday, if Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback and Teron Armstead is out there, we have a shot. We have a shot to beat Bills. If Tua is not out there and we have to rely on either Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson, it's going to be a really tough challenge. And this is not me hating. This is just me being very realistic. If it's either Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson, the game could be over by halftime. And I hope I'm wrong by saying that. But I am going to make an apology to all Dolphins fans and for myself who were just doubting and just really being super negative the past couple weeks, man. So we're going to get into it. It's not going to be a long video. We got the national championship tonight with TCU and Georgia. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I really don't feel that excited for this national championship game. I don't. I mean, TCU's a great Cinderella story. They've been a great college football team all year. But literally, Georgia is the new Alabama. They are the new Alabama. They have a great offense. They have one of the best defenses in college football. Kirby Smart is, right now, in my opinion, the best coach in college football, next to Nick Saban. But I really think this game's going to be over by the third quarter. Now, I'm not going to say halftime, but I think Georgia is going to have this game in wraps by the third quarter, and I just think it's going to be way too much for for TCU and for Max Duggan. They're 12.5-point underdogs. I think they keep it close in the first half. I think Georgia blows the door off in the third quarter, and it's going to be too much for TCU, man. But I don't know. I'm really not feeling the hype with the national championship game this year. I don't really care that much either. So just hoping for a good game, I guess. But if you have not already, be sure to go ahead and check out the post-game recap I did yesterday. Miami Dolphins against the New York Jets, and that 11-6 win. That was the most Dolphin way possible to clinch the playoffs. That's the most Dolphins way ever that you can clinch a playoff spot, with a scrappy, crawling 11-6 win with no touchdowns scored and a safety in the last play of the game. But yeah, man, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this playoff matchup. We're going to talk about Skylar Thompson a little bit. But first, I just want to give an apology. I'm sorry for coming on here Week 15 against the Buffalo Bills and saying the season was over. The Dolphins went into that game. I had no expectations. I had no expectations whatsoever to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills on Saturday night after the horrible performance the team gave against the Los Angeles Chargers the week prior. I definitely did not see us going into Buffalo and putting up 29 points, which I did praise the offense, because I thought the offense played very good in that Bills game. If your team puts up 29 points, they should be able to win the game. Tua Tagovailoa played well. Jalen Waddle played great in that game. Tyreek Hill was great. The running game was amazing with Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson didn't play that game. Raheem Mostert and Savon Ahmed. They're going to need that again on Sunday, more than likely, with Jeff Wilson and Savon Ahmed, because Raheem Mostert has a broken thumb. So it looks like that he's not going to play on Sunday. And it was a great game that Week 15. And I came on here and I was mad. And I'm still mad. We should have won that game in Buffalo that Saturday night. You know, I'm not going to reference the play because I've referenced it so many times that I'm just tired of it. But if we score a touchdown besides kicking a field goal after a forced fumble, I think we win that game. So we start with that. Then we go to Green Bay. Things are going great. Raheem Mostert fumbles at the end of the first half. The Dolphins are up 20-13 going into halftime. I'm like, all right, you know what? Offense put up 20 points in the first half. Just regroup on defense and your special teams, because they allowed a huge kickoff to the Packers, the first drive of the game. The Packers' first drive of the game. And the second half happened. And after the second half happened, and Tua threw those 3 interceptions, we haven't seen him since. I don't think we're going to see him on Sunday. I said it before. And I tweeted it out before I went on before I hit record. According to Mike McDaniel, we don't know much detail, but Tua still isn't cleared for contact. I am going to give Tua a 25% chance that he plays on Sunday against Buffalo. And if he can't go, it's going to be Teddy or Skylar. And we'll know more about that this week. So I'm really not going to talk about the quarterback situation going into Buffalo until about Thursday. And then the preview is going to be on Friday. And we'll do live show Sunday and then post game on Sunday. There's a little I'll say it at the end again, but I went on the post game recap the night of Christmas, and I was like, the Dolphins ruined my Christmas. The Dolphins need to move on from Tua, and I don't know if they're going to move on from Tua. More than likely, at least for next year, I do think that Tua is going to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins, because I don't think there's another choice. Who they're going to bring in for backup, I don't know. They need a solid backup because we do know that Tua cannot stay healthy for all 17 games of the season. And Teddy Bridgewater is just not that guy. He hasn't proven that he can be a good backup in Miami for Tua. The times we've seen Teddy Bridgewater, he had a horrible third quarter against the Vikings. He gave us a chance against the Vikings, but they ultimately lost. He was the starting quarterback against the Patriots. He hurts his throwing hand on the interception, and we don't see him the rest of the game. He was active yesterday, but he was backing up Skylar Thompson, and he was throwing to trainers on the sideline. He was throwing to guys on the sideline, and the furthest he threw was 10 yards. So, obviously, that's not good. But I doubted. I said that I'm throwing in the towel after the Green Bay game, and the season's over. The season's over, and I'm like, this team's all a bunch of losers. The Dolphins are a joke. The Dolphins are trash. The Dolphins are never gonna win a championship with Tua. Are they gonna win a championship with Tua? I don't know. I don't know. That's not a question for today, because all of our focus should be on Sunday and facing the Buffalo Bills in the wild card. But I came on after the Packers game, and I wanted to throw in the towel. I'm like, the season's over. The season's over, and let's just get ready for the offseason. Patriots game comes last week. I don't even care. I'm like, these last two games are meaningless. The Jets and the Patriots. These two games are meaningless because no matter what, the Dolphins aren't going to stand a chance in the playoffs. And I digress. I apologize for that statement. Anything is possible. And, could Skylar go into Buffalo and beat the Bills? That's going to be tough. But, yeah, man. I mean, a lot of Dolphin fans were upset after that Patriots loss, and I really wasn't, because I saw it coming. I saw that loss coming from a mile away. Teddy, I just don't trust him. He gets hurt. He wasn't playing terrible before he got hurt. And then he throws an interception. He forces the ball to Trent Sherfield on 3rd and 15. And he throws a pick six. We don't see him for the rest of the game. It's all Skylar Thompson. They lose to the Dolphins. They lose to the Patriots. They're officially out of the playoff hunt, or out of the playoff picture. The Patriots are in. I'm like, dude, at this point, you've got so many injuries on this team. Tua, Teron, Teddy. Just let, more than likely Skylar's going to start against the Jets. Let's just see how he does, and, we'll call it a season. It's very disappointing. I made a full video whether or not the Miami Dolphins should fire Mike McDaniel. I mentioned the pros and cons of Mike McDaniel. At the end of that video, I do say if I was the owner, if I was in the owner's shoes, if I was Stephen Ross, I wouldn't fire Mike McDaniel, because he was able to unlock the potential of Tua, and he made this offense one of the most fun offenses I've ever seen in my life as a Miami Dolphins fan. And there's just so many great things to see from this offense this year with Tua, with Tyreek, with Waddle. Trent Sherfield, he hasn't really done much at all the past couple weeks. But, He had that one nice play against, against San Francisco. Um, and I didn't really care about that game against the Patriots or the Jets. And then the game came yesterday. And the Patriots lose to the Bills. And the Dolphins beat the Jets. And here we are. It's the best feeling ever. Clinching and your team going to the playoffs. And to end off the apology, I'm just sorry for all the negativity I brought on here, on Twitter especially. And, it's not my fault it's not the fans' fault that the Dolphins went on a 5-game losing streak, but I was just extremely frustrated and I lost hope. I lost hope. And we're still holding on to that hope, man. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy facing these Buffalo Bills. But you know what? Damn it, we're going to give them a fight. We're going to give those boys a fight. I hope it's a good game at least. And, the expectation going into the season, I had the Dolphins being 11-6. 11-6 or 10. I had the Dolphins 11-6 as the last wild card spot. I don't think I said it on video, but I did say they would be 11-6. But I did I did NFL Predictor. You know that NFL Predictor app? I did that, and I picked the Dolphins at 11-6, and the last and the last wild card spot. I don't remember who I had them facing in the first round. I want to say it was the Chiefs. I want to say I had them against the Chiefs in the first round, but 11-6 in the first round exit. I mean, the expectation was to get to the playoffs, and the Dolphins got to the playoffs at 9-8. Was that the way we would have liked to gotten in the playoffs? No, there's a better way than that to clinch a playoff spot. But you know what? We're here, man. And this team deserves it. I see all these people complaining online that the Steelers deserve it. The Steelers deserve it more. It's mostly from Steelers fans, not Patriot fans. But it's like, the Dolphins don't deserve it. And the Steelers, the Steelers should be in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what, Steelers fans? You know what's the play that's going to haunt you for the rest of the offseason? Noah Igbenogany's game-winning interception Week 7 on Sunday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins. Yours truly was there to watch it. And you know what? That basically was a game that basically was a playoff catch. Because if we don't win that game, obvious reasons, the Steelers are in the playoffs. So, huge that we were able to win that game. Couple big ones too. Baltimore comeback, the Week 3 game against Buffalo, the comeback against the Detroit Lions. Look, at the end of the day, that looks like a really good loss because the Lions finished 9-8 on the season. The Steelers win looks like a good win because, look, they almost made the playoffs over us. Okay? Then the other teams, the November schedule, I'll admit, was our soft part of the schedule. The Bears, first overall pick. The Browns stink. I think they'll be better next year, but the Browns stunk this year. And the Texans, they have the second overall pick. So, 2 of the 3 teams that you beat had the top 2 picks in the draft. So, November was definitely our soft part of the schedule. But you know what, man? We got it done. We got it done, and I'm thrilled that Sunday I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching the Miami Dolphins in a fucking playoff game for the second time in my life. And I don't know what it's going to bring. I don't know what it's going to bring, man. But I'm excited. I'm excited. And, one last thing before I get out of here, I want to talk about Skylar Thompson real quick. I did watch the highlights. Yes, I haven't watched highlights of a Dolphins game since the Bills game in Week 15. They still, when the game they lost. I watched highlights of the Jets game yesterday, and Skylar Thompson was definitely overwhelmed. Skylar Thompson was overwhelmed in that game. He missed a lot of deep balls to Tyreek Hill, wide open throws to Jalen Waddle, and he takes a very long time to read his progressions on the field. And you could tell he was nervous. You could tell he was overwhelmed. And you just cannot – you can't hold on to the ball against this Bills team. And it's not going to be a game like yesterday where, field position matters. Because both offenses more than likely aren't going to go down the field and make anything happen. This Buffalo offense is, in my opinion, the last couple weeks, they've been the best offense in the NFL. Them and Kansas City. And I think that our defense is going to have a great week at practice, man. It's not going to make it's all of a sudden we're not going to go back to the 2021 defense, because this year's defense it's who the Bills are. It's who the Dolphins are. I meant, my apologies. Blitzing, great run stoppers. Secondary's terrible. So we're going to need a big game from old Xavier Howard, because his ass got cooked yesterday against Garrett Wilson, let me tell you. But he's going to have a big game. We're going to have a big game from Kato Kohu. He's been stepping up a lot this season. The unsung hero for the defense has been Kato Kohu. We're going to need him to have a great game against the Buffalo Bills, man. And yeah, I believe that's all I got. That's all I got. Just wanted to make an apology video for all the Dolphin fans who, called me ridiculous for saying the season was over. You guys were right. I was wrong. And you know what? I'm happy I was wrong. So I owed it to you. But I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. We got so much content coming up this week, man. Wednesday is going to be AEW in Los Angeles, so that's a big deal. Big show Wednesday night. We'll be talking about that. Thursday, I might or might not make a video. I don't know yet. It depends with school. Friday, for sure. Be making a preview on Friday. For sure. And then Sunday, yesterday, I didn't do a Hype Me Up pregame show, basically because I was just tired from my Jacksonville trip, and I had a project due last night, and I had to get some of it started before the Dolphins game, so I just didn't go live yesterday. Apologies for that. Probably should have let y'all know. But, yeah. So, I'll be back Wednesday for AEW, but, man, Dolphins fans, it's time to get down to business against these Buffalo Bills. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy and fins up. Peace.